Today was the most terrifying, stressful day of driving I have ever had. We saw an 18-wheeler carrying cattle just boom, right on its side. As I film this, we are 2 long days deep into Baja, Mexico. And honestly, I'm torn between being ecstatic and being terrified. Not because of the cartels and crime. No, it's because of the utter desolation. You look for miles and miles in every direction, and there's no one. It's completely empty. Hi, I'm Rick. Welcome back to The Journey. Yeah, we are driving down the entire length of Baja, Mexico, and we are but one breakdown from being stranded in the middle of the desert, in the middle of nowhere. Or at least that's my biggest fear. As unreasonable as it may seem, it might be reasonable. But no, it's also coupled with, well, a whole bunch of excitement. But we are getting well ahead of ourselves. Let's take a step back, catch up on the last 2 days, because it's been an interesting last couple of days, and then I'll fill you in on the real details. Welcome to San Felipe. It's the first major town down in Baja. Now, I probably have already said this before, but I don't know, so I'm going to repeat myself. We are on our way down to the very, very tip of Baja to an event called Escapar. And, well, it's going to take us a good solid 5-10 days, however long to get down there. We are traveling with a group. We're moving kind of slow. So yeah, this is camp spot 1. There are so many worse places we could have picked to park for the night. Yeah, I'm gonna like Baja. It is beautiful, it is desolate, and it is scary. I'm gonna get used to it. It's just the first part of Baja is, sorry, the engine's really loud over there. The first part coming down through the 5, very wide, feels like you're on interstate highways in the States. That all ended. Okay, day 2 is shaping up. Day 2, and we have landed at a place called Rancho Grande, which is in the middle of frickin' nowhere. So here's what we're gonna do. If you wanna follow along with our breadcrumbs, I'm just gonna, instead of telling you in the video, I'm going to document every stop along with coordinates down in the description below. Find yourself at one of those waypoints, leave a comment about your experience with, well, wherever we happen to be, and you too. Hi. Yeah, I know, life's been pretty chaotic, and so is this video. We have been 2 days on the road, and we are about, I don't know, a third of the way down Baja. I haven't been really filming much of anything because I didn't know what to expect, and I think maybe by tomorrow, and forgive the windblown hair today, you would not believe how bad this bus is rocking tonight. We're on the beach somewhere, I don't know, but there's a major windstorm, and we're getting seasick in here just from the bus moving while it's not moving. Anyway, tomorrow, I promise, more clarity. Tonight, I gotta regroup and get some sleep. We'll see it. So welcome back to day 3, and I was just outside, so you'll forgive the wind-blown hair. I had no idea how windy Baja was. We've already got some major updates. For starters, we're breaking up the group. Not because they're bad guys or anything. We actually kind of like them. It was helpful using them, being with them, to get across the border. 5 kilometers. We are in Mexico! And that, boys and girls, is what fear looks like. But all good things must come to an end. The big problem is they only want to do about 100 miles a day. They like creeping and crawling and being slow. We've got to get down at the bottom of Baja in time to park our bus somewhere safe. I'll explain that in a bit. So we're going to be doing 4 or 5 hours a day. Little bit of a disconnect. So we got to go say goodbye to them, and we got to hit the road. Just 1 minute. In the year and a half that I have been driving that school bus, today was the most terrifying, stressful day of driving I have ever had. Let me start my 3-point travel trip with, well, the good news. And that was we did indeed split up the group this morning, but we picked up another driver, a very nice couple and a truck camper. So we had a little company along the way, mostly to kind of capture the carnage should our dead bodies need to be discovered. It was that kind of day. Okay, let me stretch while we talk about this. Point number 2, the desert. We went across the peninsula and then kind of came halfway back across. We're in a little town called San Ignacio, which is exactly halfway top to bottom, halfway left to right. We're the center of the universe as far as Baja, Mexico, and it's beautiful out there. The soaring mountains, and we went through this valley that was filled with cacti. Point number 3, I didn't get to see any of it because I was white knuckle clutching death. For starters, those narrow roads that I saw the past 2 days, oh, they get narrower and they get, well, let's say unimproveder. So much unimproved that the locals warned us about a couple of them that were just notable for their depth and breadth. We named that cluster of potholes Steve. We found a lot of Steve out there. Now, the next special feature of our roadway was they're very, very narrow, as in maybe 3 inches between your wheel and the edge of the road. The edge of the road being at least a 1 or 2 foot drop off the side, which means if you happen to move 3 inches and catch a tire, you're flipping over and going on the side, which we saw an 18-wheeler carrying cattle do. It just wheat, boom, right on its side. I felt bad for those poor cows. Almost was me, because the 18-wheelers kept blowing by on my side, brushing my mirror on that narrow-ass road. 5 straight hours of this joy, and we are now landed in an RV park in a little town. And by the way, whenever you find a little town, pull in and explore it, because there aren't very many little towns. And this actually isn't a little town. I'm not sure what this is, but I'm not driving. I found the tequila, and well, what else do you need? We are in a little town called San Ignacio. I wasn't expecting much of anything. This was a stop on the way down to the bottom of Baja. Very unexpected. I thought this was going to be a not town, a little 5-minute walk. And it's kind of cool. I love this part of traveling when you just discover new things. Now, this isn't a big town, but some of the food is so good, the people are so friendly, but most importantly, there are hidden gems. We just discovered that not too far away from here, there are cave paintings, really well-preserved cave paintings, 3,000-year-old well-preserved cave painting. And you can either get out there by car, or you can take a big 4-day donkey ride out to see them. Now, we don't have time right now, but I guarantee you we're going to be doing something when we come back this way. I love this town. I hate this part, though, because you find a place, and you're like, we only have like 12 hours here. And then you got to remember all of the 12-hour places you got to hit on the way back. Yeah, there's worse problems, right? And so it's time to get back into the bus. We hear tell that the roads aren't quite as bad down the rest of the way. I don't believe a word of it. But we're gonna go. Test, 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 test. How is the light? Okay, I know, I get it. You're bored. Oh, look, Rick's on another beach with crystal clear water. Oh, look, Rick is having another taco. But there is a very good reason why I am drinking beer, eating tacos, and standing beside crystal clear water. Let me explain. I don't know Baja. I've never been here before, and I'm too lazy to actually have done any research. So in addition to running our way down as quick as we can to get to the festival, we're gonna learn everything that we can all the way down. This is a scouting trip, a trip of exploration, marking on a little sheet of paper exactly what we wanna see as we come back. When you come down into Baja, Mexico, when you go through immigration, they're gonna give you what's called, I think it's an FMM. It's basically your visa for being down here. They're gonna ask you how many days you wanna stay. Just say maxima, the maximum, and that's 6 months, 180 days, which is what we did. Will we be here 6 months? I don't know, but that little teeny piece of paper we got, yeah, we're gonna try to put as much as we can on there to try to fill up that 6 months. But I get it, I truly do get it. Let's just stop and watch Rick eat every 5 minutes. It's gonna get a little old, so I'm just gonna fast forward through everything until we get to something real truly interesting, like maybe carne tacos instead of fish. We have a newsletter. You're gonna love it. It's gonna change your life. Probably. Anyway, back to the action. posterity when it takes off and y'all do the whole Wicked Witch of the East thing flying through the air. Can I supervise in any way?
Sure.
Use your right hand, not your left. That was good. Okay. These things are not clicked on the corners here. Clicked.
There we go.
Ta-da. Y'all are welcome. That's 20 pesos.
Thank you.
You know what? You want a cent?
20 pesos or
That's $1.25, baby.
Yeah, exactly. Ooh,
I'm worth every penny. Yes, whoa, this is precarious. We have made it to Escapar. We made it 2 days early. Thank God we're overachievers, but we're set up, and for the next 7 days plus, I don't have to drive, which is good, because today was equally as terrifying. We sort of thought we could go down on the Malecon and La Paz, which is sort of the boardwalk they have, a little bit smaller than the bus. We kind of got stuck between two one-way streets. I actually hit the bus on the side of something, and I had to drive the wrong way down a road just to get the hell out. So yeah, I am happy not to be driving. Anyway, you have questions, I have answers. Let's get to the next segment. Hi, we've come to the point of the video where we're actually going to do the video, meaning I know you got questions. You have lots of questions about what it's really like in Baja. I mean, isn't that why you clicked on the video? I'm sure it wasn't to hear the tales of Rick and Nikki. Anyway, let's get to them. Let's just answer everything you could possibly want to know about Baja, Mexico. So, is Baja dangerous from a crime and criminal perspective? And my experience has been no. I know that the outstanding belief that everyone in the United States has is that Baja is filled with drug cartels and people are going to kidnap you for ransom. Not that they're going to get any ransom out of me. The people down here are wonderful and friendly, and not once have we felt threatened or uncomfortable or like, oh, we shouldn't be here. The worst thing we've ever felt down here is, man, we wish there was a criminal, because then we would see somebody. No, seriously, we have not experienced anything as far as crime. Now, is Baja safe from another perspective? Say, oh, I don't know, vehicles? That one is a decided maybe. I have felt quite uncomfortable here on the roads down in Baja. Like I said throughout the video, they are very narrow. Most of them are kind of unimproved, and they tend to tip you and throw you. And if you catch a wheel on the side of that roadway, you are probably going to tip and flip right off the side of the road. It is one of those situations where you have to always be focused on driving. You can't just autopilot and cruise down the road listening to tunes. You are constantly evaluating, constantly driving, constantly actively piloting your vehicle. And that gets tiring. It gets very, very stressful. So overall, is Baja dangerous in any way? No, not really, but it's not the United States. You do have to think. You do have to keep your head on a swivel, at least when you're driving. Other than that, nah, it's perfectly fine down here. Next question, how hard is it to find fuel? Things like that. Well, it's not hard at all. The fuel is fairly plentiful and is fairly easy to get to, and it's good. We have not had a case nor heard of a case of anyone getting bad fuel. But having said that, the gas stations are not every 4 blocks. You could go 2.5, 3 hours and not see a gas station. So when you see one, and by the way, don't go, oh, maybe I can get a better price down the road. They're all controlled by the government. Everybody basically pays the same price and has the same quality. Fill up. You get around 3/4 of a tank or so, fill up. Just constantly keep filled up, and you'll be fine. As far as things like water, get an app like iOverlander, and it will tell you where all the purified water stations are, and just fill up there. As far as food, there are markets here and there, but primarily they're in the larger towns. And so when you do see one of those, you might want to stop and pick up some fruits and vegetables and other things as well. Now, as far as street food, there are quite a few taco stands out and about. You may not actually see them till you blow past them, and there's no way to turn around, but I highly recommend. You will find fish tacos everywhere, and they are all so good, so fresh. Well, you're on a peninsula surrounded by water. It's got to be fresh. So yeah, fuel is plentiful. You can get water. You can get pretty much anything you need, but just bear in mind, get it when you see it, because you may not see it again for a few hours. A quick litany of all your common questions that really don't have anything to do with each other. Electricity down here, 120 volt. It seems to be very stable. It uses the exact same plug that you use in the United States. Enough said. Do you need Spanish? And this is the part that surprised me a little bit. English is so widely spoken down here. It's actually annoyingly spoken down here. Yeah, you can get by with minimal Spanish. English is just kind of everywhere. And I'm going to go on a little diatribe. I personally don't like that. If I am in another country, I want to be a part of their culture. I don't want to see American expat life just spreading around. Learn a few words, be respectful, but yeah, you can get by. Okay, are there places to stop? Now, if you are in a school bus like us, oh yeah, they are everywhere. You can find a ton of RV parks. Again, use iOverlander and you'll find a whole bunch. You can also park on the beach. There's a lot of places to park for free. We've been finding they're everywhere from $15 to $18 a night. Almost all of them are dry camping, no hookups, but almost all of them are also on a beach. Now, let's say you're in a car and you want to stop at a hotel and work your way down Baja. Good luck. And by that I mean, I haven't seen a whole lot of hotels. Now, there are some major towns as you go down. You go down through San Felipe and, well, all the other sands. And some of them do have hotels, but if you think you're just going to drive till you're tired and pull over and find a hotel, well, Baja is a place where you go on an adventure. It is not a place where you go on a resort destination, at least not till you get to the very bottom. And if that was your bag, well, you probably would have flown in anyway. Okay, the last question that you have that I have the answers to is Baja worth it? Yeah, it absolutely is. It is unlike anything I have ever seen or been to before. Every 5 minutes, the scenery changes. The water, the mountains, the cactus, the desert, it is all so absolutely beautiful. Is it stressful to drive through? Yep. Are the people lovely and warm and friendly? Oh yeah, absolutely. And are we having a blast? I don't want to leave. I am looking forward to another month, 2, however long it takes, of just exploring this wonderful area down here. It has everything I could possibly want and so many little hidden gems that it's going to be fun to explore them. Thanks for watching.